What's up, guys, and welcome to Brewing into Cinema. If it's your first time here, welcome. So, we are continuing our journey into spooky season films with a bunch of first watch horror movies for myself. It's a very new genre to me. I haven't really watched a lot of these films. So, tonight we're continuing that journey with 2021's The Black Phone. It is starring Mason Thanes, Ethan Hawke, and Madeline McGraw. This film was not this was not what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting. I went in cold turkey in this film. I somehow managed to avoid trailers for this film for the last few years. There's now things I've seen from like memes and gifs and stuff of the film, which now makes sense. From what I've seen online after watching the movie, a lot of people say the trailer gave away most of the movie, which it kind of did going back and watching the trailer after I finished this film. But overall, the premise of this film is very simple, honestly. There is a child grabber who's kidnapping children, only boys. From what we see in the movie. Um, he's all grabbing these young kids when they're alone. He's pretending to be like a fake magician and grabbing them and holding them in his basement, and then basically tricking them into playing this game called the Naughty Boy. And the grabber, of course, is played by Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke in this film, guys, this is probably one of my favorite roles he's had. Honestly, since Training Day, I loved him in this role. I thought he was great. He played like a great, just crazy person, which I really liked. And it's another Bloomhouse production, so I knew it was going to be a solid flick through and through because they just keep pumping out good movie after good movie after good movie. Um, but Ethan Hawke as the grabber is great. The Abracadabra van, which is now, I believe, at Warner Brothers Studios on the lot, you can see with a bunch of other famous vehicles from movies that a lot of people have seen and know about. And basically, it's just about him kidnapping children, torturing them, and then killing them when he gets sick of them being around, or when they try to escape and they become the naughty boy. And that's like the whole premise of the film. And of course, the cops are trying to figure out what's going on. And of course, like, Madeline McGraw's character, um, she plays Gwen, the foul mouth Gwen. This little girl was incredible. The girl played Gwen, Madeline McGraw. Incredible. I thought she was one of the best parts of the movie, honestly. This little girl's acting chops were incredible throughout the whole film. One of the opening scenes where she's cussing out the cops in the principal's office after like I think it's a second or third kid disappears, and she's cussing out, going, "Oh yeah, it was me. I grabbed him, killed him. Little old me." And then we find out, going down further in the film, that she has premonitions and sees things. I guess, like, yeah, premonitions about like kids getting kidnapped and the grabber and all this stuff. And honestly, I wish they would have gone a little more into this because we did get a couple glimpses into it and it was cool. And of course, like, the dad doesn't believe her. He's a raging alcoholic after we find out the mom dies. And he basically just drowned himself in sorrow after losing his wife. We find out that she had, he calls it the ability, and says she could see things. And of course, Finney's character is their detective older brother, but there's nothing he can do when the dad is beating the crap out of Gwen, because of course she gets lippy with the cops, and the cops think she knows things, goes to the dad's work, he gets in trouble. It's just a vicious cycle of him just being a terrible father basically throughout this entire film. Doesn't believe his children at all. And then, of course, Finney gets grabbed by the grabber, walking home alone. Why these kids are walking home alone in this film after like several kids have been kidnapped around their age, but you wouldn't have the film, you didn't have that. And of course, Finney, we see like his emotions going up and down, like, I'm never gonna make it. This is where I die. This is the end for me. And of course, as you can see throughout this, he's finding like, this is how I die. This is the end. Like, he wants to escape and get out. Like, he really doesn't have any fight towards the beginning of the film. So, and with that, we also see that like the grabber, like, you never really see his face, which I thought was kind of a good, like, an odd choice, but it actually really worked. He had like the top mask, just the top bottom mask, and each mask had like different emotions. Some had horns on them. And you can tell this guy's mentally unstable the entire time. Obviously, he's kidnapping children, but he's just so creepy. And when Finn wakes up from his nap, he's just staring up in the corner, and it's so creepy. And then of course there's a black phone in the room, hence the name of the movie. Wasn't really sure what they were going to do with it. Again, didn't see any trailers, but then all of a sudden the phone starts ringing, and he picks it up, and we find out it's all the kids that have died in that room that Finn knows or knew about. And these kids basically help him plan his escape one by one by one. They teach him different lessons of like, like I buried this like string over here in the corner. You can use it to pull the racking off the window, or I was digging a hole in the ground to try and tunnel out. And then there's the refrigerator thing, and none of these things seem to work, and he's just giving up. And then eventually his friend, gives him the last call and teaches him, basically talks him into fighting for his life. And finally we see Finn, like he's like, I'm not giving up, I'm getting out. And then towards the end of the film, again, after Gwen's character basically helps lead the cops to the house, but it turns out it's the wrong house. And the nice little twist is that he's killing the kids in one house and he's burying them in the other. And we also find out the weird guy that's been in this film back and forth trying to help the cops a lot is actually his brother. And then he ends up killing his brother because the brother finds out that Finn's in the basement, and basically chaos ensues. Kills his brother, and then basically Finn says, "This is my moment in time," and he springs all the traps, trips him with the cord. He falls down the hole, breaks his ankle, and then Finn just beats the living tar out of him with a phone full of like basically dirt and rocks and stuff. He rips the mask off, and of course Ethan Hawke grabs her. He freaks out. Again, Ethan Hawke was incredible in this film. He was so good. It was a great acting job by him. Then of course, like one of the best part, like the finishing of this movie, I thought was really cool. How Finn got to choke him out basically with a phone cord, and that you hear the guy's voice say his arm is mint, and then the guy snaps Ethan Hawke's neck. I was like, yes, this is what I want. It was a great ending. And honestly, at the end, when he's going up the steps to go out the house and the cops are across the street, honestly, for whatever reason, I thought the grabber was coming back. He's going to grab him one last time and the cops come in and save him. But you didn't get that, which is fine. He walks out from across the street. His little sister's there waiting. And it's just, again, it's great acting performances all the way around. It's not really scary, like horror slasher film or anything. It's very psychological, which I like. I do enjoy psychological thrillers more than I do like horror movies, I guess, per se. So I would say this stuff definitely falls in a psychological thriller. It's not really gory at all. It's not very bloody at all. There's a couple scenes where they show like the dead kids. We talking to him on the phone. That's a little graphic, but it's nothing over the top, honestly. So I really enjoyed this film. I'll definitely watch it again at some point. I believe they're making a second one. It's coming out next year. I'm not sure how they're going to do that unless Ethan Hawke magically survived his neck getting broke, but I don't see that happening, but maybe they do. I don't know. It's films. Anything could happen. So thank you guys so much for watching this channel. Up next, I will be reviewing another Blumhouse production called Happy Death Day. So be sure to like, subscribe, give a thumbs up. Helps me, helps the channel. And again, if you guys have any films that you think I should check out or want me to review, please leave them in the comment section down below. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.